France's President Emmanuel Macron has this morning laid a wreath of flowers down in Paris on the tomb of the unknown soldier. So the ceremony took place at the Arc de Triomphe and is one of many that will take place to mark the Allied victory against Nazi Germany. And I think it's really important that today, with all the coronation talk and with everything else that we're doing, that we don't miss this, OK? Because this is actually a really momentous day. And let's speak now to GB News' South East reporter, Ray Addison, who joins us from the Royal British Legion. Ray, great stuff. Thank you. What's going on where you are?
Hey there, Patrick. Yes, the bunting's been out all weekend here at the Wickham Marsh branch of the Royal British Legion here in Buckinghamshire, and of course marking both the coronation of King Charles III and today the 78th anniversary of VE Day, the end of World War II in Europe. And I'm joined now by Iris Lofty, who was there to watch the celebrations all the way back in 1945. Iris, you were 8 on that day. What can you remember about that time?
I could just remember the villagers all turning out because we had a big party in the meadow opposite where we lived, and I remember sitting under the table where the ice cream tub was.
And there must have been an enormous sense of relief and joy.
There was, yes, a lot.
Why is it important that we remember those times, VE Day, and of course the sacrifices that were made for our freedom of the World War II generation?
You've got to remember that if it hadn't been for those people, none of us would be here today. And that means a lot to me. And I've been out to the war graves, and I think everybody should attend and go there to see how many people were lost. Just, you know, what they hear is not enough. You need to go and see it. Sorry, Frank.
That's all right. It must be very emotional for you to remember. Now, of course, in terms of your own service, you served for 4 years in the Territorial Army, as it was then called. Yeah. It's now the Army Reserves. What do you remember about that time, and why did you want to serve?
Why? Because I'm a royalist, and it was something for my Queen and for the country, and just a feeling that I needed to do something at the time, and I enjoyed it very much.
And you were telling me earlier you were a bit of a tomboy back then.
Oh, yeah. What I loved about it was we'd done the assault courses, and also we used to go out midnight right out in the country. We used to have to crawl through fields and go through villages and try not to wake the dogs up because they would give us away that we were there. And one thing I do remember was coming back one morning along the Western Avenue, thumbing a lift to get back to Harrow, and a coach pulled up, and we were all muddy, but they said, "Come on." And when we got on it, they were all German tourists.
Oh, treasured memories.
I always remember that. We was coming up the Western Avenue with all the Germans there. They wondered what us crazy lot were all about. We were all women. And yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your service, Iris. Really appreciate it. We're also joined by Sarah Sturt, who's the County Secretary for Buckinghamshire of the Royal British Legion. Sarah, thanks very much for having us here, welcoming GB News. Tell us what's been going on here today and why are you holding this event?
So we've held this event for celebrating the coronation and obviously 78 years of VE Day. It's basically a community event where the Royal British Legion supports obviously our veterans, our members, our supporters and volunteers. The main point is the Poppy Appeal, and we've got other organisations that are in the community here today. So we've got the Wickham Food Hub, which is our local food hub where you can go and get your food if you're struggling with affording poverty and everything. And then lots of micro businesses also from the area are here, and the idea is to raise some money to give back to the Royal British Legion to help with veterans and everything. Okay.
Sarah, thank you so much for having us here today. Sorry we got so little time to chat to you, but in terms of volunteering, of course, the Royal British Legion is saying if you want to get involved in the big help out and help out the Royal British Legion, then head on down to your local branch because they always need volunteers to help with their Poppy Appeal, Patrick.